Hello everybody, welcome back to the daily video, and today we are going to talk about the performance of Bitcoin relative to the S&P 500. So that chart which expresses that relative performance is on the screen, and what this chart actually means, whenever this chart goes up, I know it looks very much like Bitcoin chart, but there are some minor differences and I'm gonna talk to you about them. So whenever this goes up, Bitcoin is outperforming the stocks. Whenever this goes down, Bitcoin is downperforming the stocks. And you could also say that the total index is outperforming the stocks, because I have done this chart also for total relative to the S&P 500, and as you can see, the structure looks pretty much similar. So basically crypto and Bitcoin especially is really downperforming the stocks, and that has historically actually led to more weakness down the line. For instance, I just mentioned you there are some minor differences. For instance, one of the differences is that this chart, so this performance relative to the S&P 500 peaked in the middle of this year in July. And also in 2021, look at this, look at that. This chart peaked in March and April 2021. It did not peak in November 2021, even though that was the top for Bitcoin. And again, that was kind of a downperform, that was a weakness, and it followed with even more weakness. And I think we are in the situation as well. We have this ascending wedge on weekly, and we have broken through Q1 lows. That is a very bad news, because I believe that we are gonna go lower over the next upcoming months. And where could we bottom? And that is something I want to talk to you about with these FIBs. I have drawn these FIBs ever since 2011, every single cycle out there. And as you can see, every single time we did come back to this sign line. This sign line, maybe you don't see it right here. The sign line is 0.786 level. And where does this sign line stand at the moment? Stands at 7. So when 1 Bitcoin equals 7 S&P 500, this chart suggests that that's the bottom of the relative performance of Bitcoin versus S&P 500. And in basically most cases, if not in every case, it also meant that Bitcoin has also bottomed versus fiat. So whenever you see 7 Bitcoin equaling S&P 500, remember my words, that's likely the bottom.